gonna tap record. Alrighty,
All
guys.
right.
So, the crypto homie, we got some homies here.
Yo,
Just gonna
yo.
ask some questions, go through, what like your experience in crypto, all that good stuff. You just wanna introduce yourself, all that good
Sure.
stuff.
So, my name is Elvis, and I got into Bitcoin back in 2015, I'd say, when it was really popping. I only bought a little bit, but I did cash out at a profit. And what really got me in to Bitcoin was my cousin, my bigger cousin. He made a lot, so I kind of looked up to him. And what really got me into crypto was that he made a lot, so the prospect of making a lot of money right next to him was definitely a big influence on me. And it's paying off. So yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's
I
all I
mean,
gotta say.
like the time you told me your cousin he dropped what you said $5,000 into some cryptos,
Yep,
and
yep.
then it turned into how much,
1.2 million.
bro? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it was over the course of like maybe a year and a half. So it was a short run, but he managed to pay off all his student loans and do what he wanted to do for a short while before picking up a job and getting up on it. But I'm pretty sure he's still investing, so it's
Good,
all
bro.
good stuff. Yeah, it's all good stuff.
So you said that it took like a year and a half. You got in around what, like 2015 ish?
Yeah, I'd say the early stages, it was probably more around like 2013,
Oh,
2014 era.
wow.
So he got in real early, and he got into one altcoin in particular. It's called Dragon Chain. He got in when it was about like, I'd say 8 cents to 13 cents, and he cashed out at a spike of three around $3.30.
Damn. Yeah, and
So
you know, like go ahead, bro.
that was like one of the big investments that he made to grow his portfolio that large.
Yeah, because it peaked at around like $5. So I mean, he still took some major profit.
Oh, Dragon Chain did?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was the 13 something. But yeah, he cashed out around $8, I think. Whatever the peak was, uh he cashed out at, and he actually gave me and my brother 20 shares each
sweet, bro.
whenever it was at the near $7 mark, I remember. That was a long time ago though, so
Yeah, that's like it's
maybe
been
like
at least 3 years.
yeah, that was yeah, 3 or 4 years. My memory's a little hazy.
So can you see my chart?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Because
with the wonderful colors and the amazing uptrend.
yeah, because like when you're saying 2013, I was just and like the years I was trying to go over, the prices just so people can like see like, hey, like look what Bitcoin cost back in 2015 compared to
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh, and if you think about it, I mean, the internet is still so young, so we have so far to go. I don't think Bitcoin has even reached its max potential yet. So just to plant a seed for later conversations.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like so, like since we're on the topic of the stock to flow by Plan B, like what's your thoughts of Plan B? What's your thoughts of this stock to flow model? Because stock to flow for Bitcoin, stock to flow for, I mean, gold and silver, like in real estate.
Hmm.
What's your opinion on that?
So I mean, uh, the way I look at it, it's very volatile to begin with. Um, so why don't you walk through your thoughts, and then I'll give my opinions if I want to see if we can agree on some stuff.
So like regarding the stock to flow, I mean, so far it's worked out. Like you have
Hmm.
that like the line to where it theoretically should always be at.
Right.
And obviously the market's not like theoretical, so it's not there at the exact moment when like we say it should be, but
Uh-huh.
it's below or above it. And if it's below, it's a great time to buy. If it's above it, it's usually a great time to sell.
Right.
Just
Right.
going back to 2017 when it peaked at around 20K. I mean, we were below it after the halving. We were below it for like
Hmm.
so long, and then all of a sudden we peaked. So just looking at the chart, like right here, I mean, if you think about September 2021, I'm really personally thinking fourth quarter of 2021. That's 4 years after our previous peak. Plus, that would put us right around right around here on the chart. So it'd be a little bit after this, like the last breakthrough. But I mean,
Uh-huh.
it seems like things are taking a little bit longer. So
Yeah, so we'll just have to see. Like I said, right now the market seems very volatile. I don't know if the stock to flow model will mirror precisely where Bitcoin's at. It might take a little more time. Like you said, it might take the fourth quarter of 2021 to see really any big movements. It might not even peak again until then. So I'm just waiting on another like tremendous dip. I know we've recently had a couple days of straight losses. So whenever that next 3,000 to 4,000 mark comes around, I mean, I'm all in on that point.
so do you think that it's going to dip down to like three
Ah,
thousand 4,000?
man, that's the hard part to really look at. You get really look at the graph and can you back that up? Because I know Bitcoin has a lot of resistance areas and a lot of like backups. Um, if we can show like a short time
Yeah.
view.
Yeah, I'm just going to pull up the chart real quick. So you probably want the BLX where it goes back to like 2017. I mean, like 2011.
Um, yeah, I want to get the full picture.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I'm still using my laptop. I bought a PC just for this, but since I'm waiting for the microphone, I can't use it. So this computer is a little slow.
Ah,
So just hang tight.
no worries.
Yeah, like whenever I went the big picture, I check out. It's called the BLX. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I've seen this and I don't use it personally, but I've seen it in a ton of your videos.
So how far back, man?
Let's keep going, keep going. Okay, keep
You
going a little more.
you probably want the weekly maybe
Let's
because we're on the daily.
okay, yeah. That should be pretty good.
Cool.
Let's zoom in a little more after 2017 though, because that was actually way too far. Sorry.
Got you, bro. No, it's no worries. Just let me know. Thinking like right here.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. Maybe a little more to the right so we can see that beautiful dip that we're experiencing right now.
Well, I'm actually gonna. I think it'll work out a little better with the weekly. Um, so like that.
Right. There's good. Yep. So, I completely forgot what I was talking about. Can you remind me?
Oh, you're just saying like back up to get the big picture. You were pretty
Oh,
excited about this dip, 3K.
right, right. Okay. So, right here after the 2017 spike, we can see, 2019 was a bust. It went back down to 3K. So whoever was getting in at the peak of 2017, 2018, they probably lost money unless they shorted and they're on a they're on some sort of little bit of a run for maybe a month or two as more investors pile in their money. Um, but by 2019, I mean, we saw a 3K, and there's a lot of resistance. I mean, it was hovering at 3K for what was that, almost 2 quarters. Um, and I mean, that's a significant period to just hover around 3K. So we know that there's a lot of resistance there. Do I think it's going to hit 3K again? Possibly, but if anything, it would hit 4K before it hits 3K again, obviously. But if it dips below 4K, I think a road to 3K is definitely a high possibility. But after 3K, around 3, 3.5, we see a lot of resistance. So I'm just waiting. I mean, you can see it in the chart now. We're on a little down run, um, but I think it'll take maybe a couple more months before we see um, another big little dip that we can buy at.
So, like basically with a possible 3K, like you're calling a possible 3K, I just want to throw an indicator at you, the 200
Uh-huh.
weekly moving average.
Oh yeah, I'm here to learn and share my opinion. So
Oh yeah,
go ahead, teach me, man, teach me.
like Sam, bro. So basically, what I've noticed is Bitcoin throughout history. I mean, we just go back throughout history. It's never really been below the 200 weekly moving average.
Uh-huh.
I mean, whenever it dips below, it's a great buying time.
Oh yeah.
So if you look back, this was November, December of 2018. I mean, it did dip down. It touched it, it bounced off. And look, with the virus, um, that's something we don't want to say because the YouTube algorithm doesn't like it. It's not
Right,
friendly.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
but we did dip below, and we did close below, which was scary. That was scary, guys. I was concerned because like we never close below. Wicks are fine, so like the whiskers are fine, but the bodies have to stay above. And luckily, we did. I mean, so what do you think of that? Since it pretty much respects it on the weekly.
Yeah, I think now that you see the orange graph, the moving average, it looks like it doesn't really go below that. Especially in 2019, I'm surprised it didn't. But I guess basically we're gonna see another dip, but if the 200 uh, day weekly moving average is consistent, then maybe we won't see anything below 5K. Maybe this is the next step um, on the flow market to where after this next dip we may see another huge huge bull run. I mean, it's really there's so many different variables you can consider, but this moving average is pretty significant right here. What are your thoughts on the moving average, and do you think we'll see another dip? Do you think a dip, excuse me, below 5K, around maybe 3K, or do you think that we'll see a dip, but it won't be quite as significant as we've seen from 2017 to 2019?
So I mean, just basing off of like you see my pink lines on there. That's my
Yeah.
major support and resistant lines. So if we
Hmm.
fall below the pink line, that means now it's going to be like resistance. If we're holding it, then it's support. But
Right.
just regarding the 200 weekly moving average, if you look at the left corner of the screen, because I have it on this week's, the 200 weekly right now with the last weekly candle is $6,626. So my personal, just based off the charts, I personally believe if we go down, we'll touch that. Maybe a wick goes through. Who knows? Maybe the wick goes down as low as like 5,500, or just something like in that range. But the
Uh,
bodies where your opportunities to buy will probably be around that 6,600 area. And as you guys can see, 6,400, like plus or minus $100, that's major support slash resistance. So like we played with that area. If we zoom out here, this whole time in here, we played with 6,400 the entire time, and eventually we broke. And then we did break through fast, but then we bounced down as support, came back up, and then broke super fast, which that scared me. I'm not gonna lie. That I thought we were gonna go down to 1,100. I
so
really
s-
did.
so here's my question for you. So if you think the next coming dip will test that line, do you think like the next dip will test that retracement, that support? Do you think the next dip will break through, or do you think the next dip will see a strong move to the bull races?
That's. I mean, it's such a good question, and I mean, I'm like personally, I mean, I'm invested, like obviously, so I would want to say that we're gonna go up and break 20K, but I mean, I hope like if we do hit that 6K, I hope we bounce off. To be honest, it all comes down to if we hold it as resistance. But I think right now, like the past, as you guys can see, the past months, we had major like uptrend action. A lot of new people got into the space. I mean, and you can tell by the YouTube videos, like the comments, there's so many new people,
Oh
and
yeah.
they like a lot of them are weak hands, and they have to learn how the market works. I know when I got into it, it was going up, and when it went down, it was rough. I'm sure it was the same for you.
Yeah, oh yeah, very much so. Actually a funny story, my uncle, he's a trauma surgeon. I got him into Bitcoin not too long ago. So he experienced a little bit of a bull run. But now he bought back in and he's slowly losing money. So I keep telling him, keep your eye out on the charts, make sure that you follow these basic the chart fundamentals bi quarterly for Bitcoin, especially because it's so volatile of a coin. Um, so he's been losing a little bit of money. He's kind of sad by it, but he did make a little bit of money through the April and July bull run. Um, so I told him that personally, I think it'll hold around 9K for a little bit longer, but after probably I'd say a month, right around September, like October, November, and December, we're gonna see another little dip. Um, so that was my little story for my uncle and what I thought was gonna happen and what I told him was gonna happen in the next coming months. I did tell him to sell his positions, so we're just waiting for another dip to buy back in. But it's
So,
coming. It's coming.
so do you have like a long term, like, do you have a hodl position and a trading position, or you just sell it all out and go like and wait to buy back in?
So I used to have a hodl position, but now I'm just all in and then sell at the high points.
And what like what indicators, what do you use to indicate like a high point?
A high point, I really don't have I honestly right now in the past couple years I've just gotten lucky with Bitcoin. Some days I'll have invested and made like 10% in one day. I'll cash out right away. I get greedy. I don't hang on to it because I know that maybe then tomorrow is going to go down 20% and then up 5% and then something like that. So whenever I see a gain of 8% or more, I usually cash out. And I've been pretty lucky. It's kind of like gambling if you think about it. Um, in the past, I'd say 2 years or so. But that also, cause I use so I mainly just trade Bitcoin and Ethereum, and those are on this app called Robinhood, which I've been trading on for a long time now. Um, but I've gotten into stocks, and I always I always sell off my positions if I'm at 8% or higher, because I do put in almost always more than 200, $300 if I'm going in on a stock. And it might be three, four, five coins or three, four, five stocks at a time. But if I know that I'm gonna make money, then I'll cash out at above 8%. But if I'm losing money, I'm just gonna hold it until either I get above the break even threshold and I can sell off, or it goes so low that I can buy, then I'm justified to buy more at a discount and then wait for it to go up. And I usually double my position if it goes down low enough. And then I just wait for it to come back up. But obviously, there are scenarios where you win and lose in those instances. One stock in particular reminded me of one of the altcoins I used to invest in. I made a little bit of money off of, but for this stock in particular, its ticker symbol is KOS. I lost a lot of money because even though the graph's prior history showed like a strong run coming up, and it was a quarterly graph, so it looked the stock flow and everything looked perfect. But as soon as Corona hit, everything tanked. It went from $3 all the way down to I think 70 cents. So at that point, I shorted my position, cashed out on everything, whatever I had left, and then I just threw it into a different stock. And from then on, um, I think that stock went down to below 50 cents. So That was a losing session for me, but there have been some good notable winning sessions for me as well in the past couple years with just not only stocks but also e-coins such as Bitcoin.
So I mean, like you said, a lot of great stuff there. Like with the whole 9K, you said support level. Just touching on that a little bit. What do you? I mean, like, have you heard of the CME gap?
No, I have not, but I would love to learn about it.
So basically, there's this gap. I posted in a previous video. So the CME, that's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where they have future contracts of Bitcoin. And I mean,
Uh,
and you know, Bitcoin's 24/7. The stock market's not 24/7.
right, right, right.
So the weekend, sometimes the price it leaves a gap in the chart, and there's currently a gap around the 9,400, 9,600 area. So, and every time for some reason, Bitcoin has to fill that gap. So meaning that it'd have to go back down to like 9,400 bucks just to fill it.
Mhm. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. There should be a lot of resistance around. You can see it hover for quite a extended period of time, a couple of weeks at the 90 91 8 7 all the way to 9 9 3 9 9 1 9 3.
Yeah.
You can see it just hover there for a while. So I think it's definitely going to come retrace a little bit down to that position before we see an um, uh, eventual dip down to the moving average. And that is the time to buy.
Down here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that down there would be would be the ideal place to buy. Fingers crossed. That would be an exciting time, especially if the moving average, if it stays consistent to 2021, um then I'd say yeah, 6.6, 6.5. Ooh, that'd be a good. I mean, if it ever does dip down to 3K, oh my God, that'll be a field day. But
Yeah.
6.6 is is the next probably dip that we'll have that we'll see. That'll be a good investment point.
Yeah, bro. If we dip down to 3K, I'd have to whip out the credit card.
Oh yeah,
Not
you
gonna
already
lie.
know. I'd put everything I have
Yeah, that's
into
such. I was waiting
that.
for 1K. I was waiting, but it never happened.
Oh my, me too. When back when it dipped to around 4K, 5K, yeah, exactly. That's when I was gonna invest to see if it hit 3K period, I would have put a lot into it, but I thought it was gonna go lower. So when it only hit like 3.8, I was so bummed out that I didn't invest and catch this bull run. But my uncle did, so that's the good part. And he's just waiting. We're both just waiting for the next dip. We've been texting back and forth, like daily movements and everything. So definitely staying on top of that. But as soon as Bitcoin comes down for another dip, another little teaser session, then it's game over for my wallet.
So, like, are you buying in like so? Like, what if it hits like 9,200? Are you buying some and then waiting for it to dip more, buying more, or are you just waiting for it to dip back down to say 7K?
Honestly, so my plan is if it hits 7K, I'm gonna put half of what I have, the capital that I have, the available capital into it. Um, but if it goes below that, then and if it happens right away and I can see it going below 7K on a downtrend, um, then I'll just have to just wait it out, maybe hit it at 6.8 and then see what it does from there. Um, because you never know. It could hit 6.8, but then it could keep going down to maybe 6 flat. And then the moving average will change a little bit, and then a whole slew of other things will change a little bit. So, maybe it happens, but I'd say 6.87 is a good spot to get in at. Um, Definitely gonna see a lot of resistance around 9K though. Definitely gonna see it. But I know for certain that it's gonna come down below 8K at least.
So, since you're basing this off the 200, like, if we just draw a 200 line, extend it, might go up, down, like whatever, like this.
Yeah,
But like so, and I hate when people ask for time frames because that's like it's very difficult to time things.
yeah,
But
right.
like, how long do you think it'll take? I mean, are you expecting, like you said, December? So December would
So
be here.
yeah, historically, I mean, not really historically, I'd say, but like a couple of times there have been some notable dips in Bitcoin around the holiday time. And actually, um, I think the first major dip that we saw from 2017 to 2019, the largest fall off in that time frame was around the November, December time frame. So what I'm thinking is by November, December this year, we're going to see a little bit more of a uh, kind of like a mirror image, not really per se, but like another sell-off. I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but that's just what I think is going to happen, based off, I guess, the chart, um, is really my biggest evidence there, for that. But I definitely think in a couple months we're going to see a little bit of a sell-off. So de- eh, I think it'll definitely hold 9K for a couple more months.
So just play around here and then fall.
Right.
So what do you think about? Because like I mean, I personally was shocked that we fell in November this year, just because I mean, like you look throughout the history, it seemed like the fourth quarter actually Bitcoin did pretty well most of the years because 2017 it was, well, I guess the whole year it did pretty well to be
Oh
honest. But
yeah, the whole year it was booming. It
but
was
I
to
mean
the moon.
December though is when it peaked. So but I guess that might be an exception because it. But like if we go back, um, that was December. It made a peak as well again. So and
That
then
is true.
a year later, of course, it was down like in November or yeah, I guess that's
No, November, December, it did the opposite of what it did in the prior. Um,
yeah. So it seems like we've just had major moves in the fourth quarter, up or
oh
down.
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think this quarter is definitely gonna be a down. We saw a lot of market and social and economic changes from, I'd say, 2014 to 2017 when Bitcoin was really booming. We saw a lot of people change over from traditional stocks and traditional money and move everything into Bitcoin. We had Bitcoin fanatics, and that's when Bitcoin was booming. Um, and it made sense, that in December it would increase, in November it would increase. That was all the way prior to 2017. I think the excitement for Bitcoin, the excitement for ecoins, it's still well and alive, but I think it's still in its early stages. A lot of people after 2017, maybe they lost a lot of money and are kind of like, okay, no, I can't invest into Bitcoin. I'm going to save up for a while. But the people who rode the 2016, 2017 wave, they're still pumping in. They're still trading. And I think it's going to take a little more time for us to get to where we want to get in Bitcoin, which leads me to believe that it has a little more time for correction. So after 2017, it made sense that we lost a lot in December. Maybe it's gonna make sense in the coming months that we lose a lot in December. Maybe because people are selling off to buy gifts for their kids, or maybe Bitcoin just hit another like little bit of a bump and people are selling off. So it's around the holidays for the U.S. I know, so maybe people are cashing out or something like that. Uh, but who knows? Who really knows what the stock market is kind of like randomly generated if you think about it. It could in December have the opposite of what I said and just completely get out of here and just go to the moon all the way to like 30K or something like ridiculous like that. Probably not going to happen, but there's a lot of possibilities coming up this December. But I'm excited for to see it if it dips, because that would be an amazing time to buy. in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like it's always great to hear different perspectives to see like because what will happen. But like, so what's your hedge against? So it seems like you're pretty like 90% solid that we're gonna dip down to probably 7, 6K, maybe slightly below. What's your hedge in case it doesn't happen?
Well, my friend, that's where the betting really comes in. If it doesn't, I might wait a little bit longer. Um, but if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to get in around 9K. If it remains consistent, then I'd say 8.5, 9K would be a good buy point. If it's not down by December, man, that's that's a real good question. I mean, it could just take off, really. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just basically banking on the fact that it does come down.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that don't want that to happen. I know I would love to see it happen, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah, yeah. But the people that don't want to see it happen are probably the people that have um out of the money positions in Bitcoin right now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we all come subject to out of the money transactions, especially in high volatile times. But you just got to correct it, keep investing, keep hodling. Um, and if you do see a dip, don't get discouraged because you should just put some more money into it. I know that Bitcoin is definitely coming up, and you got to think of it. I mean, the internet is young. I only got internet in my house in 2005, and I was 7. I mean, nowadays kids grow up with the internet. Kids
yeah,
grow up with iPads and stuff like that. We didn't have that back in the day, so it's a new revolution. I think Bitcoin is still young. There's a lot more to come, especially when the younger generations grow up. Uh, we're gonna see a lot of change.
yeah, bro. I had dial up at like 6 years old, hearing those squeaking beeps, watching
Oh
that
yeah.
guy. Oh, I hated it. It's so slow.
Dude, yeah, same here, man. Same here.
But you did mention about people are like, it sounded like you said people are in the red, like they're hodling and they're down on their money.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this chart? I'm not sure if you like, have you seen this chart like before? The Bitcoin
Uh,
profitable days.
oh no, I haven't. No, I haven't.
So basically, just a little like explanation is all the green marks is where you're in profit if you bought. All the red marks are if you're down on, like on your money, you're losing.
Yeah. I'd say that's updated for current, uh, like the current day, correct? So if it's
Um,
all the way to the right,
it looks like if you're below 9,900, you're in the green. It's what. So yeah,
and
it
that
looks like
so yeah, so I mean, there's days where you could have bought at what is that? Maybe like AK, but then it goes down like the next couple months to 6K or something like some just example like that, and then you just cash out because you shorted or something. But I think the people that are new, people are getting in. They might have bought at a high point. I mean, within the past couple weeks, that's the red, obviously. But if you bought before that, then you're green. But before that, if you bought in the red, then you're still in the red today. Just hold your position and it'll definitely go back up. But that I like that you brought this chart up because it actually shows the dip from 10K that we had all the way down to like 3.845, and it shows the nice little increase that we have. I mean, does this chart look like it's like a cycle chart, especially in the past 3 years, like 2017 to 2020? Doesn't it look like it's kind of in a cycle where it's at a high point, but then it corrects, and it's at a high point, it corrects, and then maybe it's at another we're at another high point right now, and then it corrects a little bit. It could be in the beginning stages of the high point to correcting that we're experiencing currently.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess time only really tells, but
Right, right.
like you saw, like we go up, down, correct, down, and then we had I guess they call that capitulation right there, where
Yep.
everybody's out, you know,
Right, right.
like only the hodlers like were in, and then now like we shall see. I mean, I'm hoping we bounce off the 200, you know, even if it's in December, January, February, like whatever date, and then hopefully we break 20K.
Oh yeah.
I'd say
That's
all those people that lost money because it was at 20K, they're probably going to get right back in once we break that.
yeah, which is I mean, maybe unfortunate for them because maybe it breaks 20K and then it has a stable period at 15K instead of 9K this time. And then it corrects and then people buy in and then it goes maybe to 30K. People get excited. I don't know. You know, it's a whole you got to get in at the right time.
So when we mentioned, I guess when I mentioned the stock to flow model, I didn't really go in that much detail of like, so do you believe in the whole, you know, like 288K by Plan B?
Oh man, I mean, that is I don't want to say it's far reaching, but it's a little out there.
Yeah,
I mean, how can you really know, you know?
but
But then
he's
again,
basing it off the stock to flow though.
yeah, but I mean, you could base a lot of things off the stock to flow, especially in the stock market, and then things
True.
just go south. And then, I mean, especially when Corona hit, you just saw everything tank. Airlines, I mean, gas and oil, healthcare companies. Um, so maybe Bitcoin could do that. I don't know, because Bitcoin is separate from the stock market, you know, but I do see a little similarities between the price action, price movements of Bitcoin and companies like say Tesla. When Tesla was at its peak, you know, Bitcoin was also up there, and then Tesla's coming down slowly, Bitcoin's coming down slowly. There's some similarities between. I don't know if that's because like all in the background, they could big companies could be like hoarding Bitcoins or something like that and selling off or so. I mean, it's completely possible, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities in the price movements of Bitcoin and like and the stock market. So we could see you know what happened in early March, you know, with one of the companies I invested in that was in gas, just completely from $3 to 50 cents. I mean, it's completely possible, but
Yeah.
you don't hope for it, but uh, fingers crossed that it never happens with Bitcoin, especially because it is on the right route, uh, but only time can tell, like you said. So we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, it's just like interesting to like speculate, see what everybody else is thinking, you know, try to, you know, branch out from what your ideas are to see like what somebody else says. It's
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like to me that whole 21 million ever, only 21 million capped, like that's I mean, it's more scarce than gold. So like that just fascinates me.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something. You should have some more guests come on. I mean, get a whole like group discussion going.
Yeah, dude,
I think Discord is definitely a good option for that too, having a Discord server.
yeah, I did just create one. And when I get my mic and everything, then I can use my new computer through that. But so yeah, I'm actually gonna put in the description of this video the link to the Discord. It's brand spanking new. So you guys can
Awesome.
check that out.
Cool.
But I just was looking over our notes that we made about like like topic ideas.
Oh
So
yeah.
since there's so many new people into this space, and I believe there are a lot of new people watching my videos, and I mean, you remember BitConnect and those apps that people got scammed on. Like, what
Yeah.
would you recommend a new person to watch out for scams? I'm not sure if you heard of Hot Dog, like all those
See,
things
I
that.
haven't heard of recent ones, but I can guarantee recent ones are just as obvious as the old ones. Well, probably not obvious to newcomers, but they would be obvious to people like you and me who've been through that whole everything in 2017. Um, the thing to watch out for is obviously the faulty investing platforms, and the coins. Yeah, exactly. And the coins that have a super like big investment and then some stability and then just a complete massive fall off. That's a pump and dump. That's classic like pump and dump right there. I've gotten in a few of those and it was awful, but it wasn't too much money wasted and it was a lot of experiences learned because never will I ever fall for a fake website ever again. And some of these websites look legit, but trust me, they're not. I mean, if you click on one website for an altcoin and then another website and they look completely similar, that's a pump and dump. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, BitConnect, they were guaranteeing like these crazy, crazy like interest rates just for holding on their platform. And then, they launched their ICO like $5 billion later, and then a week later, everybody lost everything.
Yep. Yep. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but I mean, it's part of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is part of the game. It's a gambling game. And sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And in this instance, everybody who invested, unfortunately, they lost.
Yeah, yeah. And then hot dog. I mean, it's sad with the whole Uniswap. Anybody can post on there, and then people just buy these things called food. And I mean, I'm sure some of them are probably semi legit, but right now, I mean, hot dog. And just keep in mind, bro, if I'm not mistaken, this is a 5 minute chart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah, because
wow.
or maybe I'm wrong. That says 9 to 18. So okay, basically a whole day. That's terrible.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, like I said, that's a classic pump and dump right there. Classic. I mean, from 55, 8K almost, all the way down to 1.3.
Yeah, that I mean that right there puts you on suicide watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, especially if you invested out of your retirement or something. I mean, God forbid you do, because that'd be awful. I mean, nobody should take out of their investment just or their retirement just for a sketchy investment.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's the grayscale Bitcoin trust, Ethereum. They have all those grayscale trusts. That's the only thing I would. I mean, I personally have it in my retirement accounts, but I would not want to put hot dog in there.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. You know who I would put in there?
What?
Tesla at 300. Because, sorry, I had to throw it in there because Tesla is a great company, and I think at 300, we're gonna see a big bull run. So just to keep just for your investors and your viewers and everything, uh, for a nice healthy investment.
Yeah, I mean, I view Tesla just like a Bitcoin investment. It's one of those you dollar cost average in, and over the next 20 years, it's either going to be worth so much money you made, over 10,000 like percent gains, or it's going to be worth nothing.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Oh,
but I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
obviously, I believe it's going to be worth a lot. But it's one of those in it like you're going to make a lot, or you're not going to make anything.
Right. Exactly. That's why I keep throwing Tesla in there because I see a lot of similarities, especially with the recent bull run Tesla experienced all the way to 2K. It's a lot of similarities with Bitcoin. So
Oh yeah. Well, and they're new into technology. They have all the new stuff, self-driving cars. I mean, I believe
batteries.
all their cars are sexy. Like they're
Oh yeah,
amazing.
dude,
But
I want one so bad.
yeah, I'd want to wait though, because they're only going to get better and better.
That's true. That's
But
true.
that Cybertruck, bro, I want one of those.
Dude, it looks mean. Like Ford owners are gonna be shitting their pants when they see one,
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
because it has more horsepower, more torque. Whew.
Well, I think a lot of people don't understand that electric cars, they have like such small amount of moving parts compared to a regular car. So all these supercars are going to eventually all be electric because they're
Oh
so much
yeah,
faster.
faster, cleaner, more cost effective. I mean, who wouldn't want to switch to electric?
Yeah, and if you have solar panels, then I mean, you don't even need gas. Like you just plug it in at home.
Exactly. It's Genius.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the Bitcoin discussions. Back to the crypto. Back to the action. So I have a question for you, uh, Mr. Homie Brent. So what do you think the future holds for crypto and crypto investors?
Okay, so let's just pull up the chart.
I'm talking long term future, maybe like 10, 20 years.
Oh, 10 to, okay. So I think I need to pull up this chart while I'm talking. Where is it at? There it is. So you're talking basically, so like 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20,
Yeah,
like something like that, like the
yep,
long-term perspective.
right.
That's that.
The time frames, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I invest for. I mean, personally, I believe this stock to flow, since it has 21 million ever, I think this will play out. I don't know if it's going to play out as fast as he says it's going to play out. I mean, he's calling for 100K in 2021. Then he's calling for a million sometime in 2025 or
Wow.
2026.
Wow.
I could see a million per coin by 2030, maybe 2035. So I have a longer expectations. Like I think it's going to take longer than he's saying. But the current economic times with the U.S. dollar, it's the global reserve currency. If that would change and hyperinflate, and with China building its own cryptocurrency, Russia doing their own stuff, like, and from what I've read, China and Russia behind the scenes are working together to create the new global reserve currency.
I
So
wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, so I mean, like once people like it comes down to a pomp from like Anthony Pompilano. I can't say his name right, but he said before that that countries they're going to take their fiat dollars and turn them into digital dollars. So then everybody in the world will be using a digital dollar, which is just a crypto. And then they're going to be like, why am I using this digital dollar when I can use Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and whatever?
Yeah.
So it's going to take the time of them taking fiat to crypto, and then people will go from the fiat crypto to like a real crypto.
See, that's what I've heard. I've heard the US is slowly transitioning to um electronic currency instead of the US dollar. And like coins and stuff, everybody will just have electronic money basically.
Well, if I remember correctly, the stats show that the paper money, there's only about 3% of all the money spent is with paper money.
Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense why we would be making the transition in the world basically from paper because I guess paper nowadays and in the future is just going to be outdated.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Cash App, Venmo, um,
yeah,
all that stuff.
Apple Pay,
Yeah.
everything. I mean, a lot of things are electronic transactions nowadays. Credits, debits, everything. Casinos even. They've moved online too. You can play blackjack online. I mean, it's all e-currency, basically.
Yeah, which is not that far away from a crypto. And
Exactly.
it's like you said earlier, sometime like in this video, you said that kids like they grow up with this stuff. They grow up with the internet now. They also grow up in video games where they're getting their Call of Duty coin, they're getting their whatever coin, but it's in a game. So they're already accustomed to this digital coin or dollar, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I remember back in the day when I used to get money for like birthdays and stuff. I mean, I thought that was awesome, but now like kids nowadays get their Fortnite coins and stuff like that and like digital dollars for their game and whatnot. The era
Yeah.
of the cash is slowly deteriorating, so we're gonna see probably a lot. That's why I said the internet's young, you know. This whole e-world and like internet and like the World Wide Web is so young in the time span of humanity. We've come so far and we have so far to go, especially with technology, tech, e-currency, and stuff like that. So future is exciting. The only thing that could possibly, I think, stall the advancement of humanity even more so, I think, would probably be another world war. Uh, Other than that, I think humanity is like we're on the progress to some great prosperous times. We're not there yet, but we're gonna get there. And I think that day, when that day does come, Bitcoin will hit $1 million, and that's when you know we're in the golden age. Um, but it might be further down the line than 2026. Who knows?
Yeah, like when it comes down to the time they call in the time frame, it's difficult, you know.
Right, right.
But I
Very
mean,
difficult.
by the end of 2030, definitely 100,000. At least
That's what
that's
it's
what I'm
looking like.
expecting.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Definitely. I mean, I'd that'll be a great day. That'll be a real great day.
So like if you believe that it has the potential of 100,000, you know, say a million, even if it's 20 years from now, what stops you from having like, you know, a couple satoshis just chilling?
Oh, nothing's stopping me. I mean, right now, I'm so young, and I'm in college, so money's just coming in, money's disappearing in like the blink of a finger. But
Yeah,
I have my play money, I have my play money, so I can make a couple plays with. Um, what's preventing me from putting in right now is holding it for the long term. I'm definitely gonna invest in it and hold it for a long term. Just right now, I need a little bit more game time, if you will, with my little casino known as the stock market and the crypto market, because I think there's a lot of gains to be made, short-term gains, that'll lead to a lot of long-term investments and solidity when it comes to like financial freedom and capital uh, like gain. Uh, I don't know how else to phrase that, but the
so
money that I have now, I would like to make some short-term plays just so I can increase that money. I mean, so far it's working out pretty good. Um, recently turned $200 into $800, and then I turned like $500 into $800. And I mean, right now, I like the short-term plays, but when I get to maybe 25, 26 years of age and I've made my like amount of money that I'm gonna make having fun and I get a secure job, then is the long term, how can I secure my future retirement? Even though I should be starting at 21, I feel like there's a little bit more room to play the stock market before I have to make that final dive deep in to the hodling extremes, if that makes sense. I'm
yeah,
sorry. I kind of went on like a ramble there, but
no, no, it's good, man. It seems like you just want to try to utilize your money to make some quick gains right now, and then
right.
eventually you're gonna stop trading and you're just gonna go full long-term investments.
Right. So the goal right now is to get enough money accumulated to pay off all of my student loans right when I get out of college. So I have about 2.5 years left, and I'm halfway there. So yeah, right. So that's the short-term goal. But after that is long-term investing, smart investing, maybe a couple short-term plays if I see a couple companies I like. Maybe I'll throw in a couple gambles here and there. Uh, but it's mostly going to be long-term after I get all of that out of the way.
I I feel you, bro. You're just trying to make some quick bucks. I mean, I hope it works out though, because I've seen people 2 weeks ago said they're up 13K, and then last week when it all went down, they're down like 5K. So
Oh yeah.
you just gotta
So
play.
so basically, one of my most recent experiences was with Tesla. When Tesla was, on the bull run, going up from 17K all the way to it was like 19.8. It was almost 2K. They're announcing a stock split, a 5-for-1 stock split at the end of the month. So I knew already that it was going to be a nice bull run until the stock split, and then we're going to see a couple days of maybe hovering, and then a definite a put buy. So like people are going to be buying puts from then on, instead of just straight up buying calls or investing. So I basically I immediately recognized that Tesla move, and I told my uncle and I told a couple of other my friends, cash out when Bitcoin gets to the new all-time high. It got to the new all-time high. It was like after the stock split, it was like 2K, which is 500. Cash out, boom. I cashed out, made like 300 bucks. And then the following 2 weeks, it started, or maybe it was like a week, straight losses, straight losses, straight losses, down to $350. Now it's hovering around 300 to 350. So if I can get it at 350 or 300, I guarantee you, like, it's going to be a nice little bull run after 300. There's a lot of resistance around that 300 area, a lot of resistance. But
Yeah.
that was my most recent experience with playing it safe, playing it smart, and reading the social cues that came along with it. Now I'm looking forward to the 300. I buy in, and then that's the build up to Battery Day, September 22nd, when Elon Musk unveils his new battery or whatever. That's going to be the day of hype. So I think that's 300 around there is definitely a really good buy point because Tesla has so much more potential coming down the road these next couple months.
So you think the like the Tesla battery like announcement, you think it's gonna be like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event, or do you think it's gonna pump during and after?
I think it's going to pump definitely. I'd say tomorrow is looking like another day of losses, for sure. But after tomorrow is kind of hazy because then you might start seeing the comeback, maybe a little bump, but eventually coming down to 300. That's what I think it's gonna just bottom out at. Maybe 300, maybe 290. After that is a really good buy point, in my opinion, because Battery Day, I mean, if it hits 300 but before Battery Day, you already know a lot of people are going to be buying calls. A lot of people this week and last week were buying puts, which a put is basically if you think a stock is buying down, you can actually make money off the stock going down just by buying puts. So I was reading so many threads and so many articles that so many people are buying puts, but I think it's going to be the exact opposite when it finally hits 300 or when it breaks down below 300. People are going to be buying calls. People are going to be getting excited about September 22nd when Elon Musk unveils his new battery that can apparently last like 1,000,000 miles without degrading at all. An ion battery, which is just insane to think about. Um, but yeah, definitely a good buy at 300.
Yeah, it definitely seems like just looking at the chart, there's definitely between like the 280s, and the 300 area, there's a lot of support there. So
Yeah,
like we shall see what happens.
we shall see. We shall see. I'll keep you updated on my play.
Sounds good, bro. Because I have heard of that battery announcement from a while ago, and I'm all about better batteries. Don't get me wrong,
Right, right.
because that's one of my little things with electric cars right now. It's like you got to spend like 100K to get one with a good battery.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's Elon's whole thing. Like he wants to make the production of the batteries cheap, therefore making the batteries cheap, therefore selling to the public for cheap. He wants his vehicles to be cheaper. That's the whole thing. He wants them to be cheap and affordable so that everybody wants to get them.
Yeah, and he's been slowly but surely he's been getting that Model 3 down more and more. So
Oh yeah.
it's good to see.
Yep. Yep. From the early days, I mean, he's definitely come a long way.
Oh,
Definitely.
I mean, and he was born in South Africa. I'm not sure if you've heard his story, dude. He has an
Oh
amazing
yeah.
story.
He does have an amazing story. He's one of those once in a generation public figures.
Yeah, and he was one of those. They come to America. It's like a student visa or whatever it's called.
Foreign exchange student.
Yeah, it's something that Trump banned like just recently, and he was pretty mad about because he was one of them. And hey, look, like those people are willing to come here, innovate, create better lives for
Right.
us. Like, why are we
I think
stopping that?
isn't it? Aren't they called dreamers?
Oh yes, yes, that's the term. Yeah, dreamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very admirable man. Even though a lot of people don't like him, I think I respect the man
yeah. I mean,
definitely.
yeah, he says what he wants. He's not gonna take any like any crap.
Right. Because he knows what he wants. He has his goals in his mind, and he's going for it. And so far, he's been succeeding.
Yeah, man, I've heard the stories when they're about to go bankrupt that he literally slept in the office on the floor. Like he didn't have a house or anything. He just slept there.
Yep.
And employees were just
Dedicated.
giving part of their paychecks back because they wanted to see this thing work out.
And it did. I mean,
Yeah.
I I don't think any of them are regretting it right now.
I mean, unless they left or sold their stock, then
True. True. Then they're shit out of luck, but
yeah, it's like,
yeah.
whoa. Yeah, man. So like Tesla, it's definitely looking hot. I should follow the like stocks more, but I'm just so into crypto, checking out
Oh,
all
I
these
know.
altcoins.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's there's so much out there, and there's just so many different ways you can make money. So many different prospects of making money. Uh, Sometimes it's just better to branch out. I mean, not directed at you like individually, but like for people in general, it's good to have different sources of that income, whether it be stocks or ETFs or cryptos or just maybe side hustles or something like that. Um, it's definitely good to branch out and explore different avenues. I find it very not only like educating, but it's also kind of like peaceful to it takes a lot of the anxiety out of just picking like one thing to get excited about and then like getting disappointed by that one thing. It's good to have different outlets, especially with finances. You could be a gambler, but it's also very good to stack your money and save your money and invest your money. But it's also good to have some time to have fun, not go too overboard, but but use your money in that way too. I mean, whatever makes you happy in the end is and your family happy. That's definitely the goal. But just sticking to cryptos and stocks, I think there's so many different other things you can make money off of. Like for a while, I experimented with e-commerce. I don't know if you're familiar with like Shopify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I created two stores for Shopify, and I accepted Bitcoin and like um, credit and stuff like that. And I put uh, maybe like I'd say like 2 grand into advertising, and my conversion rate was like 3%. It wasn't too good, but it was good enough to make my money back and some profit off of the like products that I was selling. So that was like a good little I mean the store only lasted for like 2 months and then I closed it down because I was kind of like getting over it. It was kind of just like a experiment, but it was a good learning experience for me. I made some money, I had some fun. Um, but it was just like a different avenue, something that I haven't ever tried, but I gave it a shot and I made a little bit of money. So I can't, you can't go wrong with making a little bit of money, right?
No,
Even
bro.
if it's only a couple $100 over the course of like 2 months, like it's money is money. I won't hate on it. So
So do you plan on going back into the e-commerce again or
it's definitely something that I can do in the future. Like now that I know how to do like all of that, like I know how to run ads, I know how to build a nice website, like a nice looking website. I know how to import reviews and like create like accounts to like boost my views or whatever so that I can get more Instagram followers and more Facebook followers and more buyers and more conversions. I know how to do all that. So in the future, if I ever wanted to pick it up again and like just go ham at it, then I can. But it's not like something that I want to do for a while. Like I know a lot of people, like the internet gurus and like the e-commerce gurus, they go hard for a long time at e-commerce and it pays off. I mean, sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's a learning experience. If it's something that I want to do further down the line and I feel like it could make me a lot of money, then I'll do it. Um, but right now I'm just finishing my my degree, slowly paying off my student loans, slowly buying a new car, and then I'm gonna move probably to California and pick up real estate. Because real estate, I don't know if you know, but it's bueno right now.
Yeah, it is doing pretty well.
Yeah,
So it sounds like you just want to branch out and diversify once you start making some bucks.
right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I can feel like with that. I'm pretty heavy into crypto, but I definitely want to branch out once things start popping.
Hell yeah. Definitely Tesla. Definitely a good stock to invest in.
Yeah, but dude, I think this is a great point to end on because you were just saying how whatever makes you happy, whatever makes your family happy, I think it's a great point to end on that. Like you got to invest in, you got to like decide where you want to put your money and your personal money, like into things and be happy and be able to sleep at night and go out like have a good time.
Right.
So,
That's the goal, but obviously there's going to be some road bumps in the way getting there, you know? Like it's not going to be a straight line just like this chart in front of us.
oh no,
There's going to be some downturns where you're kind of anxious, you're feeling like you're going to lose a lot. Um, but hopefully with the solid investments that you invest in, it'll bounce back. And then you can use that as a learning experience. Whenever it dips, you just buy at a discount. And then when it goes back up, you'll be happy. The market and the crypto market, very volatile, deadly place. Very, very uh, anxiety inducing area. But it's for the long term and your long term happiness, your financial well being, your financial freedom, which is arguably one of the most liberating aspects of life, to have the ability to just do whatever you want, go wherever you want, and not worry about the finances. You buy food and don't even look at the check because you have that much money to spend. Like, that's the goal.
yeah, bro, those days are coming. Just got
Those
to
days
keep
are
investing.
coming. Yes, the golden days.
Definitely, bro.
And I'm 40 and finally retired with like 10 million at least. I need 10 million at least,
Yeah,
and
we'll
then
see
I'll
what the
retire.
like what the U.S. dollar is worth then.
Oh,
But
yeah, that is true.
like already, man, I just want to wrap this up with what do you think of like hardware wallets, like
Oh,
Ledger?
hardware? Oh, Ledger? Dude, I love so even though I don't have like a Ledger wallet, I would actually love to get one. Just if I'm a long-term holder in crypto, I think these are like super beneficial because the security on it is like way better than anything you'll get with online wallets. Online wallets are kind of like iffy. Maybe you'll lose your code, your ID code or something like that, but with your ledger, it's always pretty foolproof and safe.
Yeah, it's like as long as you don't put those keywords into a computer ever, I mean, you're fine.
Right, right. Yeah.
And like a little shout out, 20% off right now, so that's not bad. You can get an X for under $100.
Dang. That's actually really good because I remember in 2017 they were a little more on the expensive side.
Yeah, they jacked those prices up for just for the Nano S. It's $60 now, but yeah, I think they were selling them for like 80 or 90.
Yeah. Yeah, yep. It was like $79 back in the day.
Yeah, it's just crazy how things evolve and how especially with investments, you see in the stock market and crypto, how things just work out. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
It is fascinating, very fascinating.
Alrighty, bro. I want to thank you so much for taking, it looks like a little over an hour of your time. We got to do this again sometime. Like you said, do it on Discord with some more people to get a group discussion going.
Heck yeah,
So
man. It's been fun. Thank you for having me. I mean, I had a blast. I love discussing this stuff, and I look forward to being on your channel in the future for more
sounds good.
discussions.
Sounds good, bro. Alrighty, man. I'll catch you next time.
All right, peace.
Peace out, bro.